So we've already completed our investigation part, but I wanted to go over some things that we go over. All right, so I'm going to pause it right there. So the first one you should have done was the sodium bicarbonate. So for the mixture, it was there for you. The color change, it was a color change. So it turned from purple to blue, or like the cabbage juice to blue. And then the temperature change actually did occur and it was a decrease, but you didn't see any gas or any precipitate or any evidence of a chemical change. Now let's move on to magnesium sulfate. All right, so with the magnesium sulfate, it did turn a purple and the temperature actually decreased with this one as well. And it was no gas, no precipitate. And it therefore, because it was a temperature change, there was a chemical change.
Students did have 15 milliliters of red cabbage juice to the calculated calcium chloride and syrup making spoon. Students who were anything like
Okay, so with the calcium chloride, it turned bluish green. And then the temperature actually did increase. Lots of you guys noted that this actually turned very hot for you guys. It's very hot to touch, actually. The gas, no gas was produced and no precipitate was produced. Therefore, there was a chemical change. Now, for the sodium bicarbonate, your sodium carbonate, the next one, you guys may or may not have the same as what's going to be shown here. I think that our sodium carbonate was a little old, so we will just look at it on this video.
and students add 15 milliliters of red cabbage juice solution to the calculated chloride and syrup making spoon. Again, students will dissolve any clean red code and apply the main table. Remind students to make sure to touch the outside of the cup to observe any temperature.
I'm not sure if you guys did this, but or did this. I know for sure that 6H, this did happen for you guys, that it did turn olive green, but I think for like 6J and 6L, it didn't. I'm not sure why, but anyways, it should have turned olive green like this color here. And so therefore there was a color change. The temperature should have increased. I'm not sure if you guys were able to feel it. And then there was no gas, no precipitate. And so therefore there was evidence of a chemical change.
Next, students place the clean rubber pipettes into each of the 4 cups. Make sure students return the pipettes to the correct spot after uses. As well students who love pipette or water, the pipette is number of convention. And access control. Then students go by number 2 with a liquid and magnesium sulfate cup and access control as well. Next, those students will touch close the cup. Measure the temperature change. Students who observe anything other than
All right, so here you did sodium bicarbonate with magnesium sulfate, and it should have been in test tube A. The only class I think that was able to finish this was 6H. But here we go. We're going to go over it and watch it on this video. So there was a color change. So it went from whatever color it started off with to blue. The temperature actually should have decreased on this. There was a gas that was produced. There's no precipitate. So therefore, there was a chemical change. All right, so for this one, for test tube B, sodium bicarbonate plus calcium chloride, it turned purple. The color change was yes, purple. Temperature change, no. Gas produced, no. Precipitate, yes. Evidence of a chemical change, yes. This one is kind of interesting because you would think that there was a gas produced because there was bubbles. So yes, let's just go ahead and say that was gas produced on that one.
With the liquid and sodium bicarbonate cup and add it to test tube C. Students will fill pipette number 4 with the liquid and sodium bicarbonate cup and add it to test tube C as well. Students will fill their answers to this question and report it to the table. Make sure to test that either test shows their temperature change. Next.
All right, so with that one, it actually turned green as you saw in the video. Temperature change was no, gas was no, precipitate was no, evidence was of a chemical change, yes, because it changed color.
Fill pipette number 2 with the liquid and magnesium sulfate cup and add it to test tube C. Students will then fill pipette number 4 with the liquid and sodium chloride cup and add it to test tube C as well. Students will then transfer this cup and report their answers. Students will test that
So notice here, this little cloud, that shows that a precipitate is actually being formed. And at the bottom here, you'll notice that actual white part right here, that's because a solid has been formed as well. So it's color change to cloudy blue or green. Temperature change was a no, gas was a no, but precipitate was a yes. So therefore, there was a chemical change.
Students then fill pipette number 2 with the liquid and magnesium sulfate cup and add it to test tube C. Students fill pipette number 3 with liquid and calcium chloride cup and add it to test tube C as well. Students will then transfer their code and report that on their answers. Make sure to test that
All right, so as you can see here, it actually turned completely solid, and the color change was light green. There was no temp change, no gas, but therefore, because it changed to a solid, there is a chemical change.
Students will pipette number 4 with the liquid and sodium chloride cup and add it to test tube F. Students will fill pipette number 3 with the liquid and calcium chloride cup and add it to test tube
I want you to notice that as these chemicals start to sit out a little bit, they eventually start to change colors even more. Not sure if you guys can see here, but this is a gel. So a gel actually did form here. There was no color change or a temperature change or a gas, but you did get the precipitate, which is a gel form, and therefore a chemical change actually occurred.
Make sure the students compose the chemicals properly. Students will then complete all remaining questions with the total, including refreshments and
All right, guys, so now I want you guys to go ahead, now that you've seen all of the results, go ahead and complete your journal, analyze your data from what we just had, and then go ahead and do your reflections and your conclusions. All right, bye, guys.